I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I'm going to enjoy it.
Hey guys, Tim Walling here with SC Legal Carry. We train people to get a CWP in South Carolina. Now, what I want to show you today, I got in a new firearm. I saw this gun, looked at it for a while. I've always wanted one, and they had it on sale, so I just went ahead and purchased the gun. Let's take a quick look at the firearm. It's a great looking gun, isn't it? This is in the stainless version of it. It does have these plastic grips on the firearm here, and it's just a really good looking gun, isn't it? Turn it around here. Let you get a good look at this side of the firearm. Now, I wasn't crazy about the grips. It's a great looking gun, but the grips on it, these black, you can hear that, these black plastic grips here, I just felt like needed to be upgraded on the gun. So here's what I did with it. And here we go. Much better. I like these rosewood wood grips on here. It looks so much nicer on the firearm, doesn't it? It really just sets the gun off. It has a Picatinny rail on the front here so that you can mount a light. And you guys know that I love this O light that I have. It's the mini O light, slides right on, snaps right on the front of the firearm, and you can use your thumb here to activate it. Really easy. Push it, it stays on, comes off, touch it quickly, it turns on, and you can also activate it with your index finger. But fits on there really well. It's nice and secure. And this O-light, it also fits my Glock, fits 1911 style Picatinny rails, but just has the one lever right here. You just flip it up and it comes right off the firearm. Love this light. It's very versatile. I can move it between the firearms that I'm using. So we got the Picatinny rail, magazine release. Magazine release is reversible, so if you are a lefty there, you've got serrations on the rear of the firearm here so that you can chamber around in the firearm. Now there's a security system on this firearm, so right here on the rear it comes with one of these. You insert it and you give it a little twist. So see, it's sticking out now, the back piece here, and you can't fire the firearm. You can't pull the hammer back. So the gun will not function, okay? You have to have this little tool to insert it in there, and it's cross-threaded, so you twist it backwards to put it back in, so the little piece goes back in. Now the hammer will function on the firearm, and it'll actually fire. As a general rule, as a safety, I wouldn't use it as a safety. A security system for long-term storage, I would go along with that on the firearm. So this gun weighs 34 ounces. It is a pretty heavy firearm in your hand. It's very substantial when you grip it. There's a lot to hold on to here. So I think it's going to handle the recoil really well when we fire it due to the weight. There is a 5-inch barrel. We do have two 17-round magazines with one in the pipe for 18 rounds in the firearm. So we're going to take this gun to the range and we're going to shoot it, and then we'll come back and talk about it again after we put some rounds through it. But that is an absolutely beautiful gun, isn't it? So let's go to the range and let's fire this. We come to the range today and we're going to take a look at the Taurus, the PT92. Here's the upgrade that I did to the firearm. So it's a stainless steel gun. Now this is kind of a satin right here on the top of the gun, but I changed the grips and I put these rosewood wooden grips on it, and I changed the screws out here. I had to order a bushing kit to put them on with because the original
has one small screw, and then these other three, this one and the two on this side, are larger. So if you're going to change it out with these grips and go with these stainless steel screws, you're going to need a bushing kit for it. But I think it looks really good on here. I think this is a beautiful gun. A gun this nice needs a nice set of grips on it. So it's a great looking gun. This is a substantial gun now. This is a 34-ounce gun. There's a lot to hang on to, a lot of real estate here when you grab it. This firearm has a 3-position safety on it. So when it's here, the gun will fire, and then it's got, you come up with it, it is on safe, come down. Now when you've got the hammer back, come all the way down, it'll decock the firearm for you. So to take the firearm down, there's a button right here. You just press in with your finger. As you push that in, you would flip this knob down. Of course, you would slide lock it first, and then the slide would come right off of the firearm. This firearm has 3-dot sights on it there, if you can see those out here. So nice looking sights on the firearm, really easy to pick up and find. The black hammer on the gun, which I kind of like the black hammer on the gun. It still matches the sights that are on it. This gun does have a security system on it right here. So you would insert a little screw, little tool that comes with the gun, and turn it. And if you turn that, it would lock your trigger, and your trigger would not function on your gun. This is a really nice gun. I think Taurus has done a great job with this gun. So let's shoot it, and as we shoot it, we'll talk a little bit about the history on this firearm as we go through it. All right, so let's load and make ready. We are shooting 9mm through this firearm here, and these are 115 grain ammo that we've got. And let's go ahead before we go any further. Let's take a quick look here at the magazines, okay? So these magazines, Taurus made these magazines, and you see there's a cut in the bottom of the magazine here and here. So this cut up here handles the magazine with the thumb release, the current Taurus PT92 today. This cut on the bottom, there used to be a heel magazine release at the bottom of the grip of the pistol, and this magazine cut was for that, so you could take the magazine out from the base. They continue to put both cuts in it, so if you have the older model, one of the original versions of the PT92, these magazines will still work in it. These magazines were originally 15-round magazines. As you can see now, they're 17-round magazines. So at 17 rounds plus one in the chamber, so back in 1974, the Brazilian Army contacted Beretta, and they wanted Beretta to make the M92 for them. And they asked them to build the plant, to actually build the guns over in Brazil. So Beretta contracted with them and started building the Beretta M92. And in the 1980s, the contract actually expired. So Taurus came in and purchased all of Beretta's equipment. All the equipment they were using. And Taurus started building the PT92. They built it almost identical to the Beretta M92. Through the years, they upgraded the gun, made some changes to it, made the decocker be standard. They added the 3-dot sights. They changed the grip on it. They changed these serrations here on the firearm also back up in the 90s. The contract had expired with the Brazilian Army, and most of Beretta's patents on this firearm had expired, so Taurus didn't have to pay royalties. They were able to continue to build this gun. This is a very nice gun. It has a great trigger on this firearm. Let's decock it. Let's try the double action pull on it there. Put it back in double action. And single action. It does have a nice trigger on this gun. These sights are easy to find and easy to pick up to shoot. Let's finish up on this top. Here we are. We are unloaded, clear. Our last magazine here. Let's shoot some of the steel over here. There we go. Wow, I do like this gun. And the gun is clear, hammer forward, safety on. That is a super nice gun. Taurus did a great job with this gun. Not only does it look good, it fires good, it runs really well. Trigger's really nice on the gun, so we've cleared the gun. So let me let you guys see the trigger here. So double action mode on the trigger. And you can see it's nice and smooth all the way. Now, let's roll through that again. There's no crunch in this trigger at all. It just glides all the way to the back as you actually pull the trigger on it. Now let's put it in single action mode. So single action mode, your trigger set there. Now, we've got a little bit of play and movement in it there before we actually reach the wall. So that's a little bit of slop and play back and forth. But once you come down and reach that and you touch that wall with your trigger, then you just, with your trigger, you just gently apply pressure and it breaks. So let's charge it up again. Let's look at the reset. Short, crisp reset, but if you do let go, all that slop comes back in it. And when you pull the trigger, a little pressure to the rear, it does fall, and the reset on the trigger, and then drop the hammer. So once you actually do apply pressure, it is nice and smooth. And I checked the trigger pull on this. This thing is right at 12 pounds in double action. Single action mode, this thing's going about 4.5 pounds on the single action mode on the trigger. So this Taurus PT92, the old Beretta M92, they are almost identical guns here. This thing is a very, very good quality gun. It is a great looking firearm. It's going to be a nice addition to my collection of firearms. So guys, remember, don't push your responsibility off on a child. Buy gun locks and gun safes and secure your firearms and lock them up. Let's prevent accidents. Take care, everybody. Until next time.